So we'll go ahead and get started if you guys are okay with that. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate you all coming in. Welcome to It Takes a Village, where we sit down with candidates from all over the country to discuss a wide range of issues brought by you, the viewer. I am your charming and furious host, Political Jess, and I'm not going anywhere. Before we get started, let's go over some guidelines. First, we'll be chatting with folks from all over the country, so if you have a question for the candidate, please request up. You'll be allowed one question, one follow-up, and our guests will have 2 minutes per question to answer. Please provide your state and age. 18 plus only, please. And remember, we are not a debate stage. There's a plethora, if you will, of places on this app that you can go and get your fill of that, and this ain't it, guys. Please also remember to stick to current events and respect our candidate. They're doing everything that they can. Nick is doing an amazing job of trying to change this country to work for all of us. So let's be respectful. Failure to do so will result in your immediate ejection. Okay? Also, please share the live. Tap the screen when we're yapping, and show TikTok that we are engaged and we are entertaining. Our guest tonight comes to us from the great or not so great state lately of Texas. Running for governor, please give a warm and welcome, I suppose, to the incomparable Nick Pappas. Pappas. If you have any questions for our candidate, please request up. And while we are waiting for our first guest to come up, let's start off with a little icebreaker, if you will. And I know I hate these things too, but here we are. Lots of things inspire people to run for office. What was the thing that, the camel, if you will, that broke your back?
So I was actually enjoying my nice, cushy military retirement, and a random YouTube video popped up on my TV. Unfortunately, it was of the last legislative session, the Texas 89th. And I got to see rights being taken away, freedoms being stripped, just by the Republicans introducing their bills, and immediately said absolutely not and started campaigning.
That's amazing. We are still waiting for our first guest to come up. If you guys have questions, don't be shy. I do have some other questions, though, for you. I'm going to go ahead and jump into my Texas-specific ones. Are you ready for some? We're just going to jump right in, like not even testing the water first, just head first into the pond, if you will. Okay.
Good.
So Texas has been run by Republicans for over 30 years. And yet, Democrats are blamed for our high taxes, low education rankings, immigration policies, and infrastructure issues, among a great many things. What would you do to change that perspective and bring more people to support you without wavering on your convictions?
So I do both liberal and conservative town halls. I believe that I need to represent all Texans, not just half of Texans. So I actually engage with them on both sides. And I say, okay, well, who's been in charge the last 35 years? Who has made all of the decisions? Who has shut the other team out? Because unfortunately, politics today is a team sport. And I plan on getting rid of that. But until then, it definitely is. So I have to ask them, okay, what did they do? Who did this? Was it the Texas Senate? Was it the Texas Congress in general? Was it the governor's office, the lieutenant governor's office? And once you find out that they actually have no idea and they're just repeating talking points from their favorite conservative podcaster or Fox News, then I'm like, okay, well, let's look it up then. Let's go ahead and find out who is in charge of these things, who's been introducing these bills. And there's actually a website called Legiscan to where you can immediately search for an individual and see how they voted and see what they're introducing. And you get to see who's the author and co-author of bills. And then you show them, listen, here you go. This is proof that what you were just saying, you now see that it is incorrect. And every single time they say, well, I don't care.
Wow. I've got a question in the chat for you from Just Me. She says, how do you intend on handling Trump, especially compared to the current governor?
So one of my very common complaints is we have been electing representatives, not leaders. I am a leader. I make decisions, I follow through with those decisions, and I make sure that I lead my people appropriately, respectfully, but with purpose. Now, our representatives have just been bending over, hiding, trying to make the best of it because they want long, profitable political careers. I do not want these things. I want to fix Texas and then go home. So dealing with Trump is very easy. Bullies understand one language, and I was active duty for 20 years. I understand that language and I do speak it fluently. And so if he threatens Texas, he's going to get threatened right back. If he threatens me, he's going to get threatened right back. If he wants a show of force, then we do a show of force. But what we don't do is encourage civil war. Because you see a lot of people online like, oh, well, we're headed towards civil war, blah, blah, blah. None of these people are going to pick up a gun. I've
Pew,
been
pew.
in combat. I've been deployed worldwide.
A pew pew.
You see, yeah. Oh, sorry, the pew pews. Nobody's gonna pick up a
TikTok
pew pew.
safe language.
I keep forgetting. I'm sorry.
I know, it's crazy, right? So sorry.
But it's very important to me that everybody understands that, of course, people are going to talk tough. Of course, people are going to make threats. But you have to understand that it's still entirely possible to be punched in the mouth for the things that you say.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I encourage people to remember. And when they're like, okay, well, what happens if Trump starts insulting you? Well, I don't care if people insult me. I'm not a child that demands that nobody insult them. I'm going to get insulted plenty during this damn campaign. It's not even, you know what I'm saying? So it's just important that Texas understands that we won't be steamrolled, that don't mess with Texas will become a Texas slogan, not just a littering slogan.
Yeah, it would be nice if we weren't messed with anymore. I'm definitely not feeling that lately.
Absolutely.
I gotta say. All right, well, before we get into any more questions, it occurs to me that a lot of people don't know who you are or what your platform is. So can you give us like just a sort of a brief synopsis of who you are, what your main platform issues are, and, all of the stuff. Give us the stuff.
All right. So, hi, everybody. My name is Nick Pappas. I am currently campaigning to be the next governor of Texas in 2026 as a Democrat. I am a 38-year-old retired United States Marine. I am a father of a college kid. I am absolutely doing my best to make sure that my platform is spread far and wide. So my platform is full of policies, and it is much more comprehensive than you have seen for any other candidate. This is historical, this is current, this is probably future, depending upon how well I do. But it's very important that I list out all of my policies so that way everybody understands how I'm going to represent them when I'm in office. Maybe not every single thing that I'll be able to accomplish, but everything that I will endeavor towards. So we're talking women's rights, voting rights, bodily autonomy, healthcare. We're talking about all of these things. Women deserve these things. It's not a question of whether they should or shouldn't. They are Texans. All Texans deserve the exact same rights. Same with the LGBTQ community. Same with our immigrants, whether they be legal or labeled illegal, whether they just be a brown person. It's very important that we all understand that what's been happening is wrong. Racists and bigots have been making these policies, and they're easy to overturn. You just need the right people in office. Now, we also want to talk about economics. Economics is also very important to people. I want a $25 minimum wage. I want no property taxes on any senior citizens or anybody that's collecting Social Security or on a fixed income, because they are being priced out of their homes. I want to make sure that all property taxes in Texas are phased out over 10 years. I want to make sure that while we're talking about economics, we're taxing these businesses and billionaires fairly. They're not paying taxes. If they did, they would supplement all of the reforms on my entire platform without having to add a single dime to anybody else's taxes. Then let's talk about education because it's very important to people. I love public education, but I also believe in parent choice. Now, public dollars should only go towards public education. Public dollars should never go towards private education, charter schools, private charter schools, or public charter schools, and they should not go towards homeschooling. They should not go towards private tutoring. These are parent choices that I fully support them to make, but we should not be subsidizing. We need to fix our failing schools. Then, while we're talking about helping people, we need to make sure that all children in schools, pre-K through 12, have 3 meals available to them every single day from the school. We're talking breakfast, lunch, and a hot or cold dinner. The reason why it's hot or cold dinner is they could take the cold dinner home for their families. No kid should have to prove that they're too poor to afford food. Kids should show up knowing that we're taking care of them. We're supposed to be teaching the future of America. And while we're talking about the future of America, let's talk about what we need to do in Texas. We need infrastructure reform across the entire state. LBJ came through and brought electricity to all corners of Texas. I absolutely love it, but we need more. There are places in Texas that do not have access to fresh water. There are places in Texas that do not have access to stable electricity. There are places in Texas that do not have access to internet or reliable cell phone reception. These things are easy to fix. And all of Texas needs them, including the large urban areas such as DFW, San Antonio, El Paso. All of these places need these reforms, but we need to start in rural Texas. This proves that it works and proves that we can scale up to the rest of Texas. Everybody wins. Last thing, we need to make absolutely sure that we fix our prison pipeline. For-profit prisons are choking Texas and ruining Texans' futures. Why are we starting to have jails that are now getting 100% full occupancy? This should never happen. But the courts are slowed, the prison pipeline is strong, our for-profit prisons are using slave labor. We can fix all of these things, and I demand that we do. If we're not going to rehabilitate our offenders, then we need to hit them with a brick and be done with it. Otherwise, we need to be humane. We need to bring them a path back into society. We need to make sure that there is no recidivism. Those are the main things on my platform. I do have 24 fully detailed policies that have the problem, a detailed explanation, the source, and a solution.
It sounds like you've been in the military or something. It's like
Something like that.
something like that, right? That was awesome. I will say that I am a huge fan of the school lunches thing. I think that as a mom, that is something that is
Oh,
very
hi.
important.
I wanna introduce myself. I'm 46. I'm 46. Kamala Harris. I voted for Kamala Harris, and I am a disabled, and I am in California. As a candidate, as a candidate, what are your plan for disabled community and for our immigrant community as well? What are your plans and what can you do to protect those two communities?
Thank you very much for the questions. What did you say your name was?
Bacon.
My name is Bernard Marquez. Bacon, or actually, I just dogs myself, but sorry.
Well, thank you very much, Bernard. I
Bacon.
really appreciate the
I got
questions.
you.
So, first question, disabled community. I am also disabled. I am a disabled combat veteran of the United States Marine Corps. So, I do plan on enforcing ADA compliance throughout the state, but also it needs to be slightly more robust. I have been going to a lot of the ADA presentations, a lot of disabled community presentations at a lot of the museums and amphitheaters across Texas. And that's because I don't know what everybody goes through. But thanks to them, I have built quite a robust disability policy on my platform. So that's very important that all of that gets cleared up. a lot of these small businesses, a lot of these government offices are getting away with not being ADA compliant, that are getting away with not having ramps or having ramps too steep. There's a dozen things, and I plan on fixing all of those. It's very easy to make sure that everybody remains compliant, except a lot of people are just not enforcing it. And then as far as the immigrant community, I do not believe that anybody is illegal. I believe that people did come across the border the incorrect way. I believe that they did come across the border the correct way. And I believe that they're all being treated the same. So we're talking about our citizens. We're talking about our non-citizens, our DACA. We're talking about everybody. If you're a little too brown and you're not in a group, ICE is probably going to throw you in a van and send you to Guatemala or wherever, regardless of where they came from. This is wildly inappropriate. We need actual border security, not a big ass fence. We need to make sure that we're using technology. We could be using drones, radar, LiDAR, these things to help immigrants go to the correct areas so that way they can be treated humanely, not thrown in cages, not sent in lines, not having to create border towns inside of Mexico. We have the infrastructure to be able to take care of these individuals, to make sure that they could come over and be a part of America and actually have a shot at the American dream and escape whatever hell that they were trying to escape. A lot of these people going thousands of miles to ensure that they can escape whatever happened because we have an amnesty clause. Now, we need humane immigration. We need to be able to have them go back to the apps. We need to have them to be able to go back to the courts. We don't want them afraid and hiding and avoiding, because that's what's happening right now. That's why it's so hard for Trump to actually deport somebody, because they went too cruel too fast. President Biden was deporting 10 times more, much more often, but it was always humanely. It was always to where they came from or to a place that would provide them amnesty. They did so many good things that the current administration just screwed up. Texas should not be a part of this. Texas should not be a part of their political theater. Now, ICE has always been racist. If you ask any border town, they will tell you ICE has always been racist. This is not a new thing. What is new is that Trump let them off the leash throughout the rest of Texas and the rest of the country, and Greg Abbott says that that's okay. I say that that's not okay. And Texas needs to set an example for the rest of these states, especially the border states, showing, hey, listen, we can protect the border without giving the fascists any more power.
Oh, thank you for that. And follow-up question on this disability, because I am a I am employed. I'm currently employed as a retail worker. What are your plans to protect people like me that is employed? And do you think that we should have fair share of our, like, for example, uh, my Medicare and Medicare is being, right now it's an appeal mode. Right now it's on the SSS, and we've been appealing this until since June, and we haven't heard from them. What can you promise your constituent, especially disabled community? What can you do for them, like, for example, the Medicare, Medicaid, and our protection of our employment?
Yes, absolutely. So Texas has two very large problems. I'm not sure how it is in California. Texas is a right to work state, and Texas has laws on the books that prevent efficiency for Texas benefit contracts. So when we're talking about Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, SNAP, when we're talking about all of these things, they're not directly handled by a state office. They're handled with contracting agencies. A lot of them do have federal offices, but that's not something that we're able to control. Now, these agencies are skimming off the top. They're doing everything that they can to make sure that you cannot receive your benefits. We need to fix this. We need to take the laws off the books that prevent efficiency programs. You should be able to have an app on your phone that you touch a button and you're able to see the status of whatever the issue is. It should be able to tell you the most that this can take is 60 days without some sort of trial. It shouldn't be able to take 6 months. I had one of my kids actually have to go through Social Security and it take over a year. And then for SNAP, it took over 3 months after already receiving that benefit. These are huge problems. And also, everybody should have gainful employment. Just because you're receiving Medicare or Medicaid doesn't mean that you should not be able to work full time and still receive those benefits. Because how much gainful employment can you possibly have when you're forced to receive Medicare or Medicaid? So they should not be reduced based on the amount of hours that you're able to work somewhere, because that's going to ensure that you will, excuse me, it's going to ensure that you will never make a livable wage.
Thank you for your answer, and good luck on your endeavor. I know it's hard for you. It's here in Texas, and I know it's just keep fighting. And we're if you need some help, just let me know. Even though I'm in California, I'm gladly will help. And no, I'm just gonna suggest this one. Suggest for disabled community. Can you if you win, and I know you will win. Um, I have confidence on a grassroots candidate because if you win, can you do me a solid favor?
What you got?
Just just what you call this? Just advocate for disabled community and immigrant because those two communities haven't have a voice since we as a disabled we tried you are disabled we tried to have a voice but this administration or and other what you call this administration is building a wall that we cannot even have a voice. Just advocate for us and continue what you do. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the questions. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime.
I got you, and I'm gonna follow you as soon we're done with it. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Bacon. So good to see him. I love Bacon. He's great. So let me, Rajil, did you have a question that you would like to ask?
Yeah. So right now I'm in Virginia, but as someone who does some business in Dallas and Houston, Texas has one of the worst public transportation systems of any of the 50 states. What is your thoughts about that?
I am a huge, huge proponent of public transportation. I believe that Texas was built to be hostile towards public transportation. Um, it's like, I don't know if there is a big car, but big car is absolutely crushing it in Texas. Now, I have an entire policy specifically for public transportation for Texas. I am a huge, huge proponent of that, the train triangle in Texas, the one that would go from DFW to El Paso to Houston. And I do believe that they all need to be interconnected. So I was stationed in Germany for a little while, and I got to see the efficiency of German trains. And I do want to bring that to Texas because everybody wins when there's robust public transportation. And of course, the trains are going to be a big thing, but also we need to worry about the buses. And the buses need to be ADA compliant. And we need to make sure that, just like California, we're able to or electrify. I don't know how that works, but we need to make sure that they're all electric within the next 20 years. And I would be able to help set the groundwork for that in Texas. In 4 years, we would not be able to build the entire public infrastructure that I want. However, we would be able to fund and approve it. And so I do plan on doing that.
And follow-up question with that. With electrifying the buses and all sorts of stuff in your public transportation system, Texas does have one of the weakest power grids in the nation, I think only behind Alaska right now. What could you do to fortify that in a short amount of time?
Well, I've got good news and bad news. The bad news is we will be the worst in a couple of months.
Oh,
But
great.
the good news is after I'm elected, all of these large businesses that are destroying our electrical grid are actually going to fix it for us. So, as an example, during the freeze, do you think those crypto farms shut down? No, they definitely didn't. They were making way too much money. So we had Texans dying in a freeze, but the crypto farm's still running. Well, that crypto farm is going to be building us a brand new energy grid. So the easiest way to do it is to make sure that all of these companies, one, if they pollute, they clean up their pollution. And two, if they stress the grid, they repair or strengthen or support the grid, like solar panels and stuff like that. Before Trump just disabled all of our clean energy contracts, Texas was leading the country in solar and wind. We were doing amazing, but that took too much from oil, so we had to slow that down. It took too much from coal, so we had to slow it down. And then the federal government was like, we're canceling all contracts. Well, the Texas government doesn't have to cancel them. The Texas government can sign its own contracts for Texas. And one, that would shore up the grid, and two, it'll be fully funded by all of these businesses that are destroying our electric grid. It's not normal day people that are leaving their porch light on all day that are destroying the Texas electrical grid. We have giant, massive businesses who, even when they're closed, have all of their lights on, have all of the AC going, have all of their utilities running. Everything is energy intensive. We've got these desalination plants. Desalination sounds like a good idea, except it is so energy intensive, it is not efficient. Popular, needed, but not efficient. And so that is the short of what I want to do. On my website, it actually goes into a stupid amount of detail because it's something that's very important to me.
Thank you. I mean, I see Texas is really struggling in a few areas. Another question for you, and we asked Dr. Keith Morgan Aguilera about this last week. NRA, how would you deal with getting them either minimized in Texas politics or removed?
I don't understand the question. So
the
is
NRA,
it a specific
they're
policy
kind of like a big
of
lobby.
the NRA, or just how influential they are?
How influential they are in Texas politics.
Okay, all right. Well, I have no contact with the NRA. I'm not receiving any donations from the NRA. I'm very pro-gun, but I do plan on passing the most progressive gun laws Texas has ever seen. So, although I love assault rifles, I don't believe that there should be a statewide ban on them. I don't believe that there should be a statewide, you cannot ban these. I believe it should be done at the local level. West Texas absolutely needs semi-automatic rifles. Downtown Austin doesn't. So they should be able to make their own decisions. If the NRA has a problem with that, we will butt heads. But there's nobody that would be able to say that I'm anti-gun while also not deep-throating the NRA. Probably shouldn't have said that, but you're welcome. You're welcome for that sound.
We love the TikTok shop. The TikTok shop is amazing.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your answers. There you go, Jess. That's the perfect soundbite.
Man, we're going to have that on a loop.
Yep, I'm putting that on my page.
I love it. I love it. Just a reminder, you guys, if you have questions for this guy, please come request up and we'll let you come on here and ask your questions. He's been fantastic so far. So let's see what other trouble we can get into, shall we?
Yeah, K-Law, you're just going to have to like cover your eyes.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, wait, and the ears.
And the ears. No one is safe. Okay, so I've got a more serious question for you while we're waiting for other questions to come up. The special session ended for us on the 3rd, and the Christian nationalists were able to push through all of their wants. It seems like they got their redistricting, they got their trans bathroom bill, they got everything that they wanted, it seems like.
They definitely did.
What would you say to those of us who are in the LGBTQ community, those of us whose voices have been stifled by redistricting, those of us who are trans women whose health care is under attack, and those who really feel unsafe in Texas right now, with, of course, using TikTok safe language?
Of course. So I will not say the F word, but y'all means all. I am an ally to the community. I love the community, and I'm talking about LGBTQ, talking about women. I'm talking about minority. I'm talking about religion. Doesn't matter. If you're Texan, you're Texan. And all Texans should have the exact same rights. No different. If somebody is going to harass you for going to the bathroom, they're going to harass me. And I'm going to make sure that nobody gets harassed. There's so many things wrong purely because of the hostile government. I'm trying so hard to watch my language here. This is something that I'm very, very passionate about. I'm sure you've seen from a couple of my other videos. So do not be afraid. Stay and fight. The Stonewall riots were successful because we stayed and we fought. We didn't run. Now, if you need to run, if you are not safe, go. If you got pregnant and cannot support this child, go, even if it's temporary. Do what you need to do for you. And when I'm elected, I will make Texas so good that you cannot wait to come back, and we'll welcome you with open arms.
What do you plan to do about gerrymandering, Sammy asks.
Oh, that one's easy. So with gerrymandering, I plan on creating independent redistricting commissions and having them fix the maps. Initially, it's going to be to where, okay, it's going to be squares inside of the counties. So that way we won't have to worry about, oh, well, this one district goes across 6 counties. We won't have to worry about that. Squares inside of the counties. The counties, well, you can't see the map. They're relatively decent shapes. We can fix that. Now, when we're talking about the actual already gerrymandered districts, when we create these independent redistricting commissions, it's going to be difficult, to say the least, to ensure that everybody stays on the same page. Because just like with this last gerrymandering, it was only 6 districts that were changed. It was 5 and then 1 older one. But when I do it, it's going to be hundreds of districts that are going to change. We're going to have to put out multiple maps. It's going to have to be on the news. We're going to have breakdown articles, but we will do that. We will make sure that it is so difficult to rig an election in the future that they're just not going to try, because the juice is not going to be worth the squeeze.
I love that answer. Thank you for that. So what can we do, and you included, because there's a lot of people right now who see inclusivity as a threat. So what can we do to encourage inclusivity in the state without disenfranchising those people? Or do you care if they're disenfranchised? I frankly do not. But, you know, you're trying to get votes. So what would you tell them?
No. I am not trying to get votes. I will earn the votes because I'm amazing. But I refuse. But I refuse to get down on my knees for someone who's perfectly content with having their boot on my neck. So I will make sure that I represent all Texans. I will make sure that all Texans have the exact same rights. I will treat the Republican elected representatives exactly how they're treating the Democratic elected representatives, and that's not good for them.
Nope.
But the actual Republican Texans, I will treat with respect. They will have the exact same rights as everybody else. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is not just a dog whistle for the N-word. It's a mission statement. And we need to make sure that there is diversity, equity, and inclusion in Texas. This is at all levels.
Awesome. Thank you for that answer. So you are currently running against everyone's favorite governor, Greg Abbott. I'd say that with a fair amount of sarcasm there. What would you say has been the most egregious thing that he's done since he took office, and what would you do differently?
Okay, so I'm going to try really hard not to get angry right now.
You're in good company, so it's okay.
He had his accident, and he pulled the ladder up behind him, and he made sure that nobody that runs into an accident like that is able to sue for that much. He's made Texas hostile to the disabled community. Greg Abbott is disabled, but he is not a member of the disabled community. So if you mock him, this is coming from the future governor of Texas, you are only mocking him, no matter what you say. You are not mocking the disabled community. That's not how it works. If he was a disabled advocate, if he was just some disabled dude, and you started mocking him, that would be wildly inappropriate. But this man has made the disabled community's lives hell and deserves it. There's also the abortion ban and
AB.
the closing of the Planned Parenthoods. Women's health care is slowly being eroded to where you're going to need my permission before you can have a medical procedure done. And that's horrifying. There's a lot of things that I disagree with, but those two, they get me going.
It sounds like you have like a ton of passion. And I think that right now, this moment calls for a lot of four-letter words, if I'm being frank. There are just a million issues that are hitting us right in the face all the time. It's a fire hose of information and misinformation 24/7. And I mean, that's the point, right? But it's impossible for people to focus on everything all the time, all at once. What is one issue that you are absolutely passionate about? Thank you, guys. And you feel should be front and center in this election cycle?
Worker rights, unions, full stop. That is the biggest area of Texas that everyone misunderstands, because businesses have been so good with their anti-union propaganda and their anti-worker propaganda. Everybody wants a cheeseburger, but nobody wants the guy that makes the cheeseburger to make a living wage. Like, yeah, I want my cheeseburger, but I don't want him to be able to eat one. Like, no. So workplace rights, worker rights, unions, oh my God. Kids were working in coal mines before unions. Like, what? And people still say, oh, unions are bad for workers, to which I always go, how? How are they bad? Well, they make you pay dues. They get you paid more, and you pay the dues, so that way they make sure you're safe, you get time off, you get time with your family, your kids don't have to work. Like, what? And okay. Just talking about retail workers specifically, just talking about retail workers. Has anybody been to a Walmart and seen any Walmart worker excited to be there? No, because they get paid so little that they need another job. They need to also flip burgers. And this is okay in Texas when we have the 7th largest economy in the world. We're tied with Canada. Why do we not have the same worker protections, worker safety, worker pay that Canada does? Because we're getting hosed. Because people keep thinking, oh, well, yeah, unions are bad. Why would anybody need a living wage? Like, me and my 6 roommates make rent just fine. Maybe they should have tried harder being born to rich parents. Lazy.
Just pull themselves up by their bootstraps, don't you know? That's all you got to do.
But that makes me so angry, because every single town hall I go to that I mention unions, everybody starts complaining about unions, and I have to tell them to shut up, because they literally have no idea what they're talking about. Sorry.
You're fine. No worries at all. I appreciate it. Hey, Kayla, thank you for coming up. What question do you have?
Hey Jess, can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Hey, girl.
Hey Nick, how you doing? My name's Kim. You can call me Kayla, you can call me Kim. I'm really glad that Hot Wheels is gonna have a run for his money. I shouldn't have said run, I should have said
Run.
Um
That's a knee
first,
slapper.
I know. So my first question is, how many pull-ups can you do? And can you do more pull-ups than keg's breath?
All right. So Now I can maybe do one. But when I was active duty, I could do anywhere between 15 and 25, depending on the day. Um, yeah. So I used to be one of those guys to where you would have asked that, and I would have been like, I could do all of them. But thankfully, I'm old now and retired and had to have a dozen surgeries.
That'll do it.
Well, we're gonna have to have you show up a little bit better than that because.
Well, don't worry. I still got the guns.
Okay. All right, good.
I still go to the gym. It's just the pull-ups, you know.
Oh, maybe you guys could have an arm wrestle. That might be a good event.
I'd destroy some folks in arm wrestling. I'm 240 pounds.
Woof.
I love it. Great. Well, so with same-sex marriage protection or even interracial, interfaith marriages, how eventually we know they're going to go after that because it's in the P2025 the project. Are you going to like put those protections in the Texas Constitution so there'll always be that protection?
Yes, thank you so much for that question. Really quick, I do plan on fully rewriting the Texas Constitution. However, before we're able to do that, we do need a couple of amendments. One of them is ensuring that voting rights are codified into law. The next one are to ensure that women's rights are codified into law. The next one is ensuring that the LGBT community rights are codified into law. We need to make sure that these things are codified into law because y'all means all. All Texans need to be treated the exact same, and we should not be using people's rights as political talking points.
I totally agree. And also, do you have plans for separating the church from state? Because I know they bleed pretty good together right now in Texas. So to kind of keep religion out of politics, so that there's more of a solidified line of facts over opinions when laws are passed, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So, I am pro-religion just because I enjoy religion, and I do believe that religion can make people better people, if only to avoid a eternal fire. But it's very important to me that there is a very clear separation between church and state. The church should stay inside of the church. The state should stay inside of the state. And everybody should be able to live freely between those. Now, the Ten Commandments should not be posted in schools. That's insane. All of these churches that are preaching who you should be voting for from the pulpit deserve to be taxed and lose their tax-exempt status permanently. The vast majority of conservative town halls that I've done have been in churches because that's where they've been doing their town halls. A couple of the the liberal town halls that I've been doing have been inside of churches, and that's insane to me. And I enjoy telling them, listen, what's happening right now will not happen again once I'm elected. And that's because everybody wants to keep their tax-exempt status. How are you going to not pay taxes but try to influence the government? That is insane to me. I also believe that everybody that is currently doing it should be held accountable. Not just those, oh, well, you got away with it this long. Now let's see if nobody tries to get away with it now. Absolutely not. Just like I'm going to go after the corrupt politicians that are currently serving, I'm also going to go after the corrupt churches that are currently preaching. But I'm going to make sure that they do not influence each other.
That's perfect. That's exactly what it is. I'm all for religion and people having their religion. I was brought up very religious, but I just think the line has been blurred too much in this political atmosphere right now. So that's really good to hear that from you. So, but thank you for answering my questions, and I'm glad that you can do some pull-ups because we need that too.
Thank you very much, Kayla. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it.
See ya, Jess. You can kick me now.
Oh, I will. I'm going to kick you right now. I'm just kidding. So can you tell us what's your favorite moment? I mean, aside from this one, of course. has been on the campaign trail?
Oh, okay, yes.
Give us a
My
good
favorite
story.
story. I love telling people this story. Okay, my first conservative town hall in a church. This is towards the beginning of my campaign. I was super excited. And so I'm on stage, and a woman walks up with her little microphone. And it was hilarious because it looked like a little cartoon, tiny microphone. But she was like, so are you pro life or are you pro abortion? And I was like, oh, well, I'm actually pro choice. And really respectfully, really kind in her voice, she was just like, I think that you should be pro life. And I was like, okay, well, we're having a super respectful discussion about this, which I wasn't expecting. Why do you think that I should be pro life? She was like, well, they're killing babies. And I was like, oh, that's actually a very common misconception. Once it's a baby, everybody refuses an abortion. Like, it's just that easy. And she's like, well, my friend was talking about how there was a woman that had a baby and then they performed an abortion. And I stopped for a second. I was like, oh, okay. Wow. What happened? Like, did they just walk up to the mother, like, as soon as she gave birth and stab the baby? You know, I was getting a little sarcastic. And she was like, oh, no, the baby was 6 years old. And I had to stand there on that stage using every bit of my military bearing. This is the first time that I had heard of this. And I was like, oh, okay. Whoever told you that is a liar. I'm telling you that they're a liar, and you could give them my contact information in case they want to reach back out to me. Because obviously the source is a minion meme on Facebook. But I did look into it, and that is popular in a lot of these MAGA circles, is talking about how an abortion was performed when a kid was 6 years old.
Yeah, that's schmurder at that
right, but
point.
one of the things that I explain to people is 99% of abortions happen before the 21st week. And that's confirmed by multiple professionals. And we're talking about professional institutions. ACLU, ACOG, all of these places confirm this. 1% is performed after the 21 weeks. Every single time it's health of the mother. There might be 1 or 2 outliers in history, but if somebody's going to remain pregnant for that long, they want the baby. They don't just wake up 8 months into a pregnancy and be like, oh, damn, I got to get rid of this thing. Never once. And so that's what they think Democrats are doing. They're just like, holy shit, like, I've got this abortion punch card. I got one more abortion and I get a free Sunday. And it's like, that's not how it works whatsoever. But when you confront them with the facts. Now, if you're talking with MAGA, you have to convert them to Republican before you can actually discuss anything with them. Because MAGA will believe absolutely anything that their side says. They won't believe literally anything else, no matter the amount of proof. So if Trump comes out tomorrow and says that he's on the Epstein list, then they'll be like, oh, okay, well, then it doesn't matter. Like, so you have to bring them. If you could get them to Republican, you could address them one-on-one and in person, and you can convince them. But if it's in a group or if it's online, it's impossible. So it doesn't matter what the facts are as far as the abortion stuff is concerned. Once it gets to that point, the conversation's over.
Yeah,
but that was my favorite point in my campaign because I was so shocked. I'd never even heard anything so stupid in my life.
There's like no cognitive, like no neurons firing. That some of them are just so smooth-brained. And I know. On the campaign trail, you have to talk to everybody, but I would imagine that would have been a very tough moment for you not to just start laughing in this poor lady's face.
Especially considering my sense of humor. Like, I was about to roast this woman, but she was being so sweet and concerned. I was just like, holy crap, right? Like, I need to protect this woman.
Wow. The poor wee lamb. The poor lamb.
This poor woman who just wants to dismantle democracy.
Yeah.
She just wants to say the N-word in public. That's all she wants.
Poor little fascists. So we've gotten some amazing information here tonight, and we've gotten some wonderful things to learn about you. So thank you so much for coming. But I'm going to switch gears for a moment. I'm going to bring up an amazing content creator to tell us about how to get involved. This content creator feels like she's been doing this for 700 years, and maybe it hasn't been that long, but it sure feels like it, and maybe she has some insight for everybody who's watching today. So, folks, it's 6:20, and it's time for Activist Alley. Hang on a sec. Your microphone is off, my dear.
Okay, I got it now.
There we go, yes.
Okay, hi everyone. I am Chelsea. I'm a county chair here in Texas. It does feel like it's been 700 years. It's only been about a year and a half since I got elected. But this presidency is aging us fast. It's aging us fast.
Look at these wrinkles. Look at all these wrinkles.
Honestly, I just turned 34 and I was looking at my face and I was like, oh my God, this is killing me.
I feel you.
There are a lot of people out there that are very angry with the federal, and I understand because it is infuriating. The best way for you to handle yourself while you're so angry is to get involved on the local level. To take that anger that you feel toward the federal and do something positive in your local community, because that is the only way that we are going to take things back and make real, effective, long-lasting change. The best way to do that, in my opinion, is to contact your county party. You can find your county party. Generally, your state party will have a website. You can find your county party there, and you can find your county chair. Here in Texas, we have, I think, last I counted, 52 counties, maybe 53 counties that do not have chairs. Most of them are very rural, and we desperately need them. So if you are in a rural county that doesn't have a chair, consider becoming a chair. It is rewarding in action. I'll say that. It's not a job that you can just blow off. We are the leaders for the boots on the ground. The real boots on the ground are the precincts chairs. And in Texas, we have a problem filling our precincts as well. We have 9,000 precincts across the state. Only 4,500 of those are filled. So if you're looking to get more involved, you might contact your county chair and ask if your precinct is open. Your precinct chairs are going to be the people that are knocking on doors, that are talking to the people in their own precinct, in their own neighborhoods, to try to get the messaging out. My thing that I'm pushing for right now personally, that I'm hoping that maybe the Democratic Party will adopt, we need to be talking about two things. One, we need to be talking about the working class, because that affects the majority of us. The vast majority of us are the working class. The second thing that we need to be focusing on and putting into our messaging is community, taking care of each other on a local level. There are also so many seats at the local level, especially here in Texas, and I'm sure this is a nationwide problem, where there's nobody running on the Democratic side. I know a lot of people want to just bypass all that, but there are so many seats, like your county commissioner seats, your city councils, your school boards. The reason that MAGA has been able to take this hold over the country is they focused on those seats. I read a book by David Pepper, and David Pepper was talking about defense and offense. And his son realized while he was playing soccer that the team that's on offense the most scores the most goals and wins the game. Democrats have been playing on defense, and we have been so focused on the federal that we're missing all of these local seats. And that's where your state legislatures are. That's where the real work happens. We've got to start getting involved on the local level. And I promise you, your county chairs are going to love you for showing up, especially if you're young. The average age of my county party is 75, and I'm not exaggerating. My oldest member is about to be 90 years old, and he would go knock on doors if he could. We need young people to take up the mantle, and they desperately want young people to take up the mantle. They want us to get involved. They want us to take it over, and they want us to take the country in the direction that we want to take it. They're tired of telling us what to do. At least that's my experience on the local level. You might find that that's different at higher levels, such as the DNC, but I digress. on the local level, they want to pass the torch. Please consider getting involved in your county party. We need it, and that's how we take it back. We take it back ground up. So,
Thank
that's
you
all I
for
got
that,
for you.
Chelsea.
Yeah, of course.
There's a question in the chat, and I'm gonna point it at both of you. There is a person in the chat from Louisiana, and they say that they've been having some trouble reaching out to the Democratic Party. And if you guys have any advice to reach them, what would it be?
So, I'm sorry, I'm going to take this one real quick because this is something that people in Texas have also come to me about. I have a friend personally that moved to a different county, and she tried for months to contact the county party. Sometimes it just takes a while for them to get back. I know in my personal experience, we'll have people email in through our website, and I will email them back, and I'll never hear a thing back. So I don't even know if they're getting my emails. If someone calls me directly, that's the way to go. But if there's not a phone number, that's hard too. My suggestion is contact the county surrounding, because they should have a contact for the county chair in that next county.
Awesome. Thank you. What about you, Nick? Do you have any advice?
I do, yes. So if you're having trouble just finding out how you can get involved, finding out if there's vacancies, there's 3 very good ways of doing it. So the first way is Facebook groups. Find your local county Facebook group or local just Facebook group in general. And they can actually get you in contact with other politically connected people. So that's the first way. The second way, find candidates that are running in those areas, because those candidates are begging the local Democratic parties for airtime, for events, all of that fun stuff. And the third way is contacting the county party. Now, I know that sounds easy. There are multiple ways of doing it. The Texas Democratic Party, just as an example, has a website that lists all of their county parties with contact information. If you can't find them on whatever state you're looking for, like Louisiana, just contact local people. Everybody's got county chairs or precinct chairs, at least somewhere in the state. They will know how to contact the others. Whether it's effective or not, nobody can guarantee. But direct, absolutely. They can give you their cell phone numbers, their email addresses, specifically because those are their professional ones.
Agreed. I would also say that keep trying. And if there's not one in your area, in your county, like I said, there's a lot of rural. You don't even have to be the county chair. Just start something. I guarantee you're not the only one in your county. I know it may feel that way in a lot of these rural places. I know a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are scared to come out and say, yes, I'm a Democrat, or yes, I lean to the left. Yes, I'm a leftist. Yes, I'm a liberal. But you need to be building community with those like-minded people.
I love that. That is so incredibly important. I feel like as a country, we have been driven so hard into individualism, and no country is successful with an individualist mindset. It takes community to lift each other up and to really thrive as a nation, and I feel like we've kind of lost that. So yeah. All right, guys, we are getting close to time here. It is almost time for closing. So before we go, Mr. Nick, can you please tell the good folks who have joined us today how they can get involved and how they can support you in your candidacy?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, vote. But don't just vote. Grab your friends and take them to vote. Grab your family and take them to vote. There's at least 1 week of early voting before Election Day. Sometimes it's 2 weeks. Sometimes it's 10 days. Like it gets weird in there. But there is always multiple days. So get friends, get family, get strangers. Doesn't matter. Throw them in a van. Bring them to a polling place. Don't do that. But make sure that you are getting so involved that other people are getting involved with you, because you have one vote. If you bring 5 people, you've got 6 votes. Oh, fast math. I didn't even screw that one up. All right. But also, it is very, very important that you don't bring a fascist to the voting booth. So if they've got a tiny mustache or a red hat, don't bring them. Everybody else, though, they're good.
Tell them the voting day is the wrong day. Don't tell them the voting day is the wrong day. But
one more thing before we go. In November, there is an election. Though there aren't candidates running, there are constitutional amendments.
There are
Please
candidates.
look those up.
There are candidates. There is a special election as well as the ballot measures.
Oh, yeah.
And that's because we had the passing away.
I forgot all about that. I'm so far from Houston. That just is off my radar. But yes, there is that special election, which already should have happened, to be honest.
It definitely should have.
Facts.
It was supposed to happen months ago. And there's the constitutional amendments. So please do not forget that. Please go vote on those. Midterms, off years, those are so underrepresented at the polls. Don't forget them.
And this is just a reminder, folks, that big money in politics has absolutely destroyed our country. We are no longer interested in politics that's only serving the corporations. We don't want candidates who are funded by AIPAC and other special interests. We want candidates who are going to serve the people. But that money has to come from somewhere. So whether it's your wallet or your time, please make sure that you're doing everything in your power to help these grassroots candidates to succeed in these elections. The time is now. This is our moment, and we have the momentum to really switch things for the better for us. It's time for a change, and we all have to work together. So wouldn't you agree, Nick?
Absolutely. I currently cannot afford the filing fee in order to get on the ballot. So I'm wholly dependent on y'all's donations because I refuse AIPAC money, especially because of the genocide going on. That's not good. What's that?
G-side. We love the TikTok shop.
Yeah.
Yes, we love the TikTok shop. The TikTok shop's amazing.
It's very important that everybody understands I will personally get money out of politics, but until I'm in politics, I can't get money out of it. So please help me, as well as help me help the county parties, because it's very important that they're able to keep the lights on and knock on doors. They can't do that for free. Nothing is free. So please do what you can. I greatly appreciate y'all.
Awesome.
We love the TikTok shop.
And we love the TikTok shop. I would be absolutely remiss if I did not send a special thanks to our amazing mods, our amazing content creators who are here supporting us today, as well as our incredible design genie, K-Law. Thank you so much. Please send them all and our candidates some well-deserved love in the comments. Also, make sure you are still registered to vote. They're doing some hanky things out there, you guys, and you want to make sure that when you show up on voting day, you're actually going to be able to participate in this system. So you can go and check your voter registration by going to vote.gov and make sure you keep an eye on your local election schedules, especially nowadays when they're doing all this crazy hinky stuff. This was incredibly inspiring. I really appreciate you. I'm going to take a minute, though, and let Oslo come up because he's like one of my favorite things. He's my favorite. Hey, Oslo.
Hey, everyone. Sorry I'm a little late.
That's okay. We appreciate you. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Wonderful. Nick Pappas, this is our favorite Curious Red Monster, Oslo.
Hi, Oslo.
Hi there, Nick. How's it going?
Very good.
Pappas, did you have a question or did you want to give us a little bit of inspiration before we close out for the evening tonight?
Yeah, just a little bit of inspiration on how we can get involved. You know, a lot of times on TikTok, we might meet someone who's running for office in a district that we don't live. And we're like, well, I'd vote for them if I lived in their district, but there's ways we can get involved. Obviously, the one we might first think of is donating money. I think most candidates would say, yes, please. You know, that's one way to get involved, but not everyone is financially able to. And definitely not at the rate that we need you can't donate to everybody. We get that, right? You can maybe donate $15 to a couple of different candidates each month or something, and skip the Starbucks, whatever. Skip your local coffee shop once or twice. Like, we get that. But how can we really get involved? The thing I've been telling people is follows are free and shares are free. So who cares about if you're following the people you follow on social media? If that number gets big, and as a result of it, you're spreading the message of all of these democratic and progressive voices, then who cares? I know a lot of people think about their following counts as like, you don't want your following to be too close to your followers. I don't, who cares about that? Follow all these candidates and share their message if you believe in them. But here's the other thing, and here's my I'm going to come in really close and tell you a secret. We're all here on TikTok Lives, and a lot of us, some of us just watch. And if you just watch, you're learning. But if you participate in these debate lives, like I do, like a lot of us do, you're debating with hardcore MAGA. You're talking to some of the most people who are the most cemented in their beliefs. That's like swimming in a swimming pool with weights on. So if you are able to debate on TikTok Lives, then you have the time to phone bank. Instead of getting on TikTok for an hour, phone bank for a candidate for an hour. Start taking your TikTok time and dedicating it to phone banking, because when you speak to undecided voters in Arizona, for example, or purple unregistered voters in Texas, and you're used to talking to people like MAGA on TikTok, I'm telling you what, I did this for Harris back in the fall a year ago, and it felt like I was taking off the weights and putting on flippers. I felt like I was swimming so fast because I had the facts and the info at my fingertips, because I was on TikTok all day, or not all day, but multiple times a day, debating with the toughest of the toughest, most cemented people stuck in their views. So I had the facts down, and I was, using rhetorical devices and debating all those people. So when it came to somebody who was genuinely curious and interested in learning about the candidate that I was calling about, it felt like I took off the weights and put on some flippers, and I was swimming as fast as a speedboat. So I know that all of us can take a little bit of the time we spend on TikTok or Instagram, and we can dedicate it to phone banking for all these candidates. You don't have to live in the district of the candidate to phone bank for them. We can all do that. That one's for free. It's just a matter of time. And if you're here on TikTok, that's a little bit of time you can use for them. So that's my little speech. That's my little get involved. You don't have to spend money unless you want to and you're comfortable doing so. There are other ways to spread these candidates' messages and to help them get elected.
Thank you so much, Oslo. It was so wonderful having you, and that is such great advice for people. A lot of people just don't know what to do to get involved, and there's so much coming at us all the time that it's hard to kind of focus in on those things. So it's really good to hear that from you. So thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for everybody joining us today. This was incredibly inspiring, but I want to just remind everybody, I know there's a lot of people out here who are very scared. And I want to remind you that the fear is the point. Fear leads to panic. Panic leads to inaction. But hope and community are the antidote for all of it. Tune in next week, where we're going to sit down with a candidate who is a farmer in Louisiana, and he is more than happy to show Mike Johnson the door. So thank you so much, Nick. Is there anything else that you would like to tell our viewers today?
Or maybe show Mike Johnson the boot, since Louisiana is shaped like a boot.
That's true. That's brilliant, Oslo. Could you put that on a t-shirt?
I think that what's his name? Starts with a C. What's his name?
Conrad Cable.
Conrad. Conrad should put it on a shirt.
I think that that's a brilliant
Let's
idea.
give
I'll
Mike
bring it
Johnson
up.
the boot, and then it's a picture of Louisiana.
I think that that's fantastic marketing. We should charge for this. Like, you know, take notes, Nick. Yeah. Do you have anything else that you want to say to our viewers today?
One last thing.
Yes.
Go to your state's website and make sure that you're registered to vote. Don't guess, don't assume, check. And then make sure that all of your families and friends check. Registering to vote is the first step. The second step is taking your butt to the booth.
Love it. Do you have a donate link on your bio?
No, but it is on my website, PAPPASFORTX.com, pappasfortexas.com, and it's up at the top.
Fabulous.
Are you running? Wait, did I miss something? You're running?
Yes.
He's
I
running
am
for
campaigning
governor.
to be the next governor of Texas.
Okay, great, Governor. Fantastic.
He's gonna wheel Greg Abbott right off the stairs of the Capitol. That's what we're hoping for. So, yeah, not literally. Don't do that. Don't actually.
Now
do
that you said don't, I guess I won't.
I know, right? We don't advocate for violence here. Okay.
Yeah, we love the TikTok shop.
We love the TikTok shop. So be sure, guys, to follow us on our Substack. We also have Spotify, Apple Podcasts, The Tube of You, and follow thepeoplesickday.com if you guys are interested in throwing a wrench in this bish. I said bish. Okay, we love the TikTok shop. Then please follow thepeoplesickday.com. Anybody from the People's Sick Day can drop the link right there in the comments. It's a 3-day economic blackout. It's a fantastic way to make your voice heard. We know that people take sick days all the time for things like you had a little too much to drink, or you're not, tummy's feeling a little upset, or you have a concert to go to, etc. This is definitely a worthy cause. So if you have any questions, if you need more information, please go check out the Discord. And we hope to see you guys joining the People's Sick Day. To, really shake up some things. Also, be aware that on October 18th, there is another No King's Day protest. Concert. We love the TikTok shop. This is not exhausting at all. I love this. I love this for us. Just a reminder to everybody, too, to take care of each other. I really appreciate all of you guys joining us today. Oslo, Chelsea, Nick, and everybody who asked a question, thank you all so much. And we will see you on Monday with Conrad Cable. Have a great day, guys.
Mwah.
Thank you. Mwah.